My name is Marcello and I'm with DubLi, and I've been asked to talk a little bit about the partner program in DubLi, and that's one of the reasons I'm involved with DubLi today. My background is a little bit of, it's mostly entrepreneurship, and that's what I've done most of my life. When I looked at DubLi, even though I'm not per se a network marketer, more of a business person, it got me actually very excited about doing network marketing for the first time in my life. And so I've been able to recruit quite a few people who are very business minded, which is nice for me because I don't have to mentor them very much. They pretty much take off and do exactly what I'm doing, which is going after partners. When you look at DubLi and you look at the income potential, the lowest hanging fruit in DubLi is the partner program. You can go out and you can recruit 1, 2, 3, mom, dad, as far as customers go, or you can try to set up some system where you can knock doors or something to get customers. But if you want to get customers quickly, which in DubLi you understand that customers is key. If customers is king, customers is cash. Customers is the way to make your money, not creating a huge downline, even though a downline or a sales team is really good to build because you can duplicate your efforts. Customers, customers, customers. If your sales team has the most amount of customers, you win. Okay, anybody wins with the most customers. Okay, so when you come to the partner program, you can either go after 1 or 2 people on your own, or you can go after 1 million customers at one time. If I went up to you at Best Buy, for example, and I noticed you were about to buy yourself a computer, and I said, "Hey, you don't know me, and I don't really work for Best Buy, but I noticed you were about to buy that computer, and I want you to stop. And before you buy that today, I want you to go on my smartphone and sign up for this site, because you're going to be able to get 7% off here at Best Buy today. And all you have to do is pay $99 on my phone, and we'll be able to get you that discount." What would you think? You'd think, well, this guy is a little crazy, and it must be a scam. It's too good to be true, and I'm not going to put my credit card information in that phone. But who do you bank with, for example? Okay, who's your favorite charity? What TV station do you watch? When you think about all these big entities who've spent years and years and years building up their brands, people trust them. People believe them. If you were to log into your bank account, for example, and all of a sudden there was a pop-up that said, save 7 to 15% on your daily shopping at almost every brand name store in the nation, click here to find out more. Would you trust them? Would you click on it? Of course you would, because they have a lot to lose. They have a brand name they've developed over years. Well, you get into an organization such as, the American Cancer Society, which we're working on right now, with large entities, financial institutions, you name it, big, huge charities, schools. When you get in with these organizations, they have a brand, people believe them. So that's what I go after. Now, the fastest way and easiest way to get into those brands is obviously to know somebody who knows them. Referrals are always the most powerful. And what we've been able to do in our team is we've actually recruited in our sales team a lot of big business people who know a lot of big business people who know a lot of big connections to all these big companies. So what's the fastest way? Bring in a whole huge sales team that's very affluent, or who's very savvy, who have a lot of connections, and who are able to bring in these big meetings without having to work so hard. Now, if you are kind of like me and you don't want to wait for somebody to come in your organization to be able to find these big connections, sometimes you want to do some cold calling or use LinkedIn to do some introductions, or call around until you find somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, right? But if you're going to be doing cold calling, back to that, a lot of times I'll call a huge company. So if I wanted to get into, say, Bank of America, okay, and I wanted to actually do a presentation to them, it's going to be kind of hard, okay, with cold calling. But say I want to do that. Say I want to do some cold calling. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to the website, and I'm going to try to find all the leaders who are in charge of that place, either on a local level or on a national or a world level, if that makes more sense. Now, it's always easier to go from the top down than go from the bottom up, because if a bottom person says this is a really cool program, very few people up above them think that that person has enough clout. But if you can get high enough, even at the president level and or a board member, and then go down, that's always the best way to go, because everyone below them respect their decisions. And so if somebody on a president level, even if they never even looked at the program, turn to a VP of marketing and say, listen, I want you to meet with Marcello about the program he's trying to show me. The VP is going to automatically do it because the president said so, even if the president has no clue what I'm even talking about. So a lot of times I'd like to go to the top. And so if you are going to do some cold calling, for example, one of the ways to do it is obviously LinkedIn or a couple other tools. But if you need to and you can't find anything else to do, start calling customer service. And you'll find out that sometimes you get in, try to call customer service, and all of a sudden, they tell you, we have a policy, we're not allowed to give any information about the corporate officers. And you go, oh, thank you so much. Do you have a supervisor I can talk to? And then what you do is you drop a couple facts. There's a book called I'm Okay, You're Okay. It has an interesting principle inside, where you either make you okay and me okay, or you not okay and me not okay, or you not okay and me okay, or me not okay and you okay. But the principle is this: if I'm talking to you as a customer service rep, I've got to gauge you. And if you sit there and say, well, we have a policy that we can't let anybody talk to our corporate offices, then I say the following. You know, I'm working with a billionaire out of Dubai, with a $2 billion company that did a couple billion last year. They're working with about 3,000 major stores, including Walmart. The leader, one of the big leaders, is number 5 guy from Microsoft. I would like to talk to your supervisor. Is there any way I can do that? So now all of a sudden I made myself okay and not you okay, and all of a sudden you're a little nervous because you don't want to mess things up. So I talk to your supervisor. Now say that doesn't happen. What do? I call back and get another customer service rep, especially with a big company. And I keep doing that and keep doing that, because almost always I can get a customer service rep to say, hey, oh, you're working with that type of company? Tell you what, I'm not really supposed to give this to you, but here's the corporate offices, here's the secretary to the VP of marketing, or the VP of the president, or the secretary of the president, or whatever else. And eventually I'll get that, or I'll do some good searching on the internet. So once you do get in there, a lot of times you want to quickly catch her attention, and you have to be different. Okay, in some way you have to be different. The way I like to do is I like to give a couple big facts. I used to be former director of former director of entrepreneur development for the state of Utah. So I like to say sometimes, hi, this is Marcello. I'm the former director of entrepreneur development for the state of Utah, out of the governor's office of economic development. I'm working with a billionaire out of Dubai, who's leading a company that's about 10 years old. I've been trying to get in with your VP of marketing or your president to be able to have a short meeting. What's the best way to do that? Okay, and you let them tell you, let them come up with a solution. What's the best way to do that? What's the best way to get a meeting in place? How can I get that on that person's schedule? And then you just work with it from there on. Sometimes you'll have to go through a couple more gatekeepers, but gatekeepers are one of the funnest people for me to talk to, because even if they don't let you through the first time, if you can build a relationship with them, you actually find out more about the company through them than anybody else. And then I can come back to the company and go through a different route or a different VP, and I actually know a lot about the company because I was able to become friends with the gatekeeper, and I was able to learn quite a bit from that gatekeeper. So that's one way to get in. We can go into more details sometime, but I think this video is getting a little long, about how to do the sales process. So until next time, good talking.